What's up, everybody? So this week, the idea of ministry really has been on my mind a lot, in my heart, um, and not necessarily ministry as a whole or inspirations or what, but just ministry, the concept behind it, the way that people approach it, and the way people think about it, or automatically say, "Hey, I can be a minister, or I can be a ministry, or let me start a ministry, or I am in a ministry, or I do own a ministry." Because honestly, really, we all, if we're followers of Christ and have dedicated our life to Him, we are all ministers in a way. How do we minister to people? And a lot of times, we as humans, we get to where we want to say the right thing. It all hinges on what we say and what we can say to others to help them and save them. And ultimately, if that's the case, then you have become the God and not God. Because it's not for us. And if you're in ministry, and a lot of times, things are not adding up, maybe it's because you're trying to serve two gods. Yourself and God, not just God. And that's, I think it's the human broken nature of us humans. And I think it's going to happen. I'm going to wake up tomorrow and try to strive and come up with the next thing to say of what could, change someone's heart or what. And honestly, I'm fooling myself, and I'm striving for something that will never happen. I think really the idea of ministry is to love others, to show them compassion, and really the less words we're able to say, that gives less opportunity for our words to bring hurt to others. Because really, let's just be honest, we're broken. And sometimes our words can come from a place of just pure selfishness, or what our motives are, our expectations or something, or this really worked for me, and I've been there and done that, and I've really looked back on that and said, I can't expect others to understand me. I can't. My story is not theirs. Basically our stories all are the same. We're living on a broken world, a tragic world, and as Chip Dye says, God is faithful. But at the end, it's more about sitting with that person and just displaying the love of God and what He's done in my heart to give me the patience to not just be quick to intervene or say, well, this is, let me tell you, this is what happened to me. And then it's all about you. And I've been there before. I've been on both sides of that. And that's not what it's about. Ministering is basically loving and listening. I truly believe that. So going into some of Henry now in spiritual direction, and he says the question in ministry is not how do I bring all these people to Jesus, or how do I make these people believe, or how do I help all these people. Ministry happens. You and I do very little. I don't try to get people to go to church or join me in prayer and the Eucharist. I just start to pray and offer Eucharist and see who comes. Oh my goodness, that's great. Boy, is it changed though. Yeah, we're all about a lot of people or numbers. I'm not concerned with fixing the marriage of the one who is considering divorce or convincing the woman who doesn't believe in Jesus to have faith. I'm here to say, this is who I am. This is who God is for me, and to be there for others. You have to trust that if you are the son or daughter of God, a healing power will go out from you and people will be healed. People will want to know where where your energy comes from, and they will want to touch you to get the overflow. And that's in reference to earlier, he talks about the healing ministry of Jesus in Luke 8, 42 through 48. As Jesus was on his way, the crowds almost crushed him, and a woman was there who had been subject to bleeding for 12 years, but no one could heal her. She came up and behind him and touched the edge of his cloak, and immediately her bleeding stopped. "Who touched me?" Jesus asked. When they all denied it, Peter said, "Master, the people are crowding and pressing against you." But Jesus says, "Someone touched me. I know that power has gone out from me." But then the woman, seeing that she could not go unnoticed, came trembling and fell at his feet. Then Jesus said to her, "Daughter, your faith has healed you. Go in peace." Jesus did not hear the crowds applying proven ministry techniques. He spoke. You have one of those. We all have one of those. He acted out of compassion. We can do that. It's a product of being humble, not comparing to others, understanding we're all different, but we're all the same. And left the results to God. And sometimes that's the hardest part. But the best news is you can leave the results both good and bad. And God is still going to love us. Even if we fail trying to minister to people. But being, scared of rejection, or if I'm going to do it right, or if I'm going to say it right, or if I have this speech, or if I have this technique that I can bring, that's just a thing of Satan keeping you from sharing. I hope this inspires others. We all have a story. We all have a heart. We can all be compassionate. And we can all, if we want, give the results to God, both good and bad. And we can all minister to each other. Thanks.